A lot of phone calls coming in tonight. We have another segment to go here with Professor Thomas Schwartz from Vanderbilt University as we talk about the world of politics, and I know that's a broad topic, but it brings in a lot of phone calls, and we love to hear what you're thinking on different areas. So we appreciate you taking your time, by the way, Professor, to be here. We'll go to Bill on line 2. Bill, what's on your mind tonight?
Yes, I'd like to clarify the concept of socialism. If I could ask Dr. Schwartz a question: if the taxpayers bail out farmers because of tariffs that Trump puts on us, isn't that a form of socialism or redistribution of income? And why is that any different than taxpayers paying for free college for students? I don't understand the difference. It seems to me that both are a form of socialism. And secondly, I'd like to respond to one of your callers equating that absurd video with someone killing a person that pushed them with libertarianism. Libertarianism just simply is a belief that there should be less government and more free liberty. That's all that libertarianism. So I would like to clarify that. But that's my main thing. Is I just want to find out what the difference is there in socialism.
Yeah, let me ask you about the tariff.
What has to say about that?
Let me ask you about this tariff, the trade war. I did hear a quote today, President Trump just saying basically, be patient, everybody. And I don't think that, and I'm not taking sides here, but I don't know if it's been really sold well enough on his behalf of what he apparently is trying to do, and that is to get better deals, and that in the short term we're going to have to kind of take a bitter pill here while we ride this out. And you know, they're also in China having to deal with, I'm sure their businesses are saying, hey, we're getting killed here on the steel and aluminum. I'm not saying it's the right way to go. I'm just trying to figure out the plan here, the art of the deal with President Trump. Right. Is that the case? Do you think this is going to lead to something?
I'd like to believe. I would like to believe that there would be a real effort.
An end result.
That there would be an effort, particularly because I do think that China has taken advantage of various aspects of the world trading system, particularly on intellectual property and other areas where they've done some things that really needed to be addressed. And that, I think, is fair. The problem is the president has been so has thrown the net so widely. I mean, imposing tariffs on steel on national security against Canadian firms it's basically abusing the concept of national security for tariffs, and I think that's gone too far.
Senator Bob Corker has raised this.
I know.
And wants hearings on it, and has said this is, this
is something we have to address.
We have to look into and address. Yeah, no, and you talk about checks and balances again.
Yeah, no, the caller was getting at the fact, I don't know that socialism itself is about the sort of actual ownership within the economy by the government of firms and businesses. What he's getting at is that what Trump is doing, though, by imposing tariffs, is he is doing something of a redistribution, because in effect he's penalizing farmers and then paying them back through the taxpayers, at least for the time being, until he can get the bargain that he wants with China. It is not uncommon in American history that presidents have done that, or that leaders have moved or shifted various costs of the economy to either the agriculture or the industrial sector. But this is part of the problem with Trump's trade war.
Yeah. Okay. Bill, good question. Appreciate it. Let's go to Shane next. Hi, Shane.
Hey, good evening, guys. How are you?
Good. Thanks for holding. Go ahead.
Yeah, it ain't been a hold.
All right.
It's been 50 years waiting to make this kind of phone call.
All right.
I see that it says what's happening in the world of politics.
Yeah.
Is what we're talking about, and I consistently hear caller after caller not criticizing, just taking notes. Speaking of individuals, I would suggest that maybe a better question, if in fact you wanted to get to the point a little faster, Dr. Schwartz, would be what has happened in the world, and we could probably start there, because before we get to the politics of it, there has to have been a subject. My subject, which I think applies to all this, is the lack of Jesus. And Oh, Lord. And I love to say that, well, in quotations, when I say, oh, Lord, or oh, my God, when I speak of him, and I believe that with the lack of Jesus, that is what's happened to the world. And, of course, I understand that all these politicians in town, they're all attending churches somewhere, which in fact they probably tithe more than $7,000 to each church, of which that blessed soul called in about affordable housing and understanding that the 7,000 under being tended to. That could be remedied if in fact those that are tithing at least that to their churches would go to sleep at night and or at least wake up in the morning for sure and ask their Lord and Savior, where they do tithe, and we do know where they attend, it's public, what they're supposed to be doing that day. And so it's, I'll be brief.
So
it's
to
more
follow,
or less what's happened in the world.
To follow a true calling.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as opposed to, yes, thank you. As opposed to what is happening in politics, where at this one point we're all trying to point a finger at an individual, when we ought to just be laying it on an individual named Jesus. And I thank you for your time, and God bless you all.
Shane, thank you. We appreciate you sharing your thoughts, and strong thoughts at that. And you know, in times like these, people will turn to their religion, Christianity, or whatever it may be, and lean on it heavily, as you are, and we respect that. Let's go to Kenneth on line 4. Hey, Kenneth.
Turn to religion, Christianity.
Hey, go ahead and just mute your TV there, and go ahead, Kenneth.
Okay. As you are.
So there's a delay. Go ahead. What's on your mind?
Yeah, I'd like to find out how Diane Black earned $40 million, and I'd like to find out, I'd like to have her audited, and being a citizen that might vote for her, I'd like to know how much money she's taken from lobbyists and how much money she's took under the table or whatever. And that's what I'd like to say.
There are some. Hold on.
To kill them cigarette machines. And
hold on just a moment. I got to put you on hold because we're up against a break, Kenneth. But I'll answer that first one, or try to. There are a number of watchdog groups that you can Google and look up that kind of track lawmakers and who they're getting contributions from. I can tell you that the mass that I know of the money that she and her husband has made was through Aegis Corporation, I believe, which is where he worked and maybe helped co-found. But if you look up some information on her online, you can find that. And now I should know off the top of my head what Aegis does. But anyway, that's where they amassed their fortune. And she talks a lot about starting off as a single mom and working the night shift and whatever, but obviously that changed over the years, and good for her. Anyway, Kenneth, thank you. Real quick, one more call. We'll go to Jewel on line 1. Jewel, go ahead. Jewel, you there? Yep, we got to put that on hold. You got to mute the TVs, folks. Let's go to, well, let's try Jewel again. Jewel, you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Jewel. Thank you for
taking my call.
Sure. What's on your mind?
Well, okay. A lot of people call Trump a president, and I don't. I haven't had a president since Obama was there. And Obama is a gentleman where Trump is nothing. Some people think he's a Christian. If he's a Christian, I'm God. From the way he gets on TV and his cuss words and all, in front of little kids and everything. And I hope Diane Black don't get a vote, for she's too much like Trump. And Trump is a disgrace to the United States. And if he don't get out of there, I don't know what's going to happen.
Jewel, thank you. We appreciate it. We got to go up against the break here, but thank you. And, you know, people are passionate on both sides about it, and she certainly is. Okay, everybody, we're going to take a quick break, come back and wrap things up with the professor.